Hey guys, I've got a fan going in the background because it's a little warm in here. I hope that doesn't interfere with the audio in a negative way. Same gear as usual for Austere August. The hardware. The razor is the Chiseled Face 68 gap stainless steel open comb razor. Love. That's a Chisel Face. Well, that's the soap. Timeless. Timeless is the brand of the razor. The brush is a B13 knot from Declaration Grooming, a Dogwood Handcrafts and Brushwerks hybrid handle. You can see the little kind of neat stuff going on in there. I like that. Love the knot most of all. It's got this wonderful blend of easy splay with these wonderful soft tips, but it's not too floppy, not floppy at all. And Chiseled Face Midnight Stag as the soap, the splash, and the cologne, and 548 it looks like it's going to be the count for today. The title of the video will have the count, and that is accurate. The description will have it as well, in case I have not remembered to put the right number of dots here. I believe it's correct though. Getting down toward the bottom of this soap, I do have another soap to jump in line. I expect this one to go away by the end of the month, before the end of the month, and so I do have one set to take its place. This is Austere August, a system where we try, where some of us, not all of us, but some of us will pick a certain set of gear to use all month. Me, I picked big old nightmare mode where everything is the same. The blade, all the things I just showed you, it's all the same. It's going to let me try different things with the soap and the lather, but mostly it's the Midnight Stag challenge that I choose the Midnight Stag soap and the scented products all month. This is the one time of the year where I do that because I love the scent so much, and I join with some other guys in the wet shaving subreddit that do the same thing and enjoy just the process. It's not unlike the lather games where you can actually win some really cool prizes. Brushes worth hundreds of dollars, other things like that. This one's just kind of for fun. All right, so I'm going to get the brush in the water. Been soaking for several minutes. I think I'm going to do a slurry lather today because I'm short on time. So I am going to do that by having my lather bowl as a catch-all to receive any of the suds that might drip out of the tub. And let me get my face wet first. Oh, and of course, we need to put the blade, show you the blade, put it in the razor. Fit and finish on these timeless razors is awesome, and so as you unscrew the handle, you get a great feeling of precision, and all the pieces just fit like they belong together. So here is the Nacet blade with the N1 etched on there, a little bend in the blade at the bottom point that you might be able to see. For grins, I'm just keeping it at on the same side all the time, and it's working. So maybe it just doesn't matter whether you flip the blade or not. Some people flip it religiously. Maybe it just doesn't matter. All right, so now I'm taking this soaking wet brush, and diagonal will kind of help to get any of the water that wants to exit due to gravity. It'll help to let it go. And this is a big knot. I bet I can give it a couple of shakes and be okay. And now we'll just go in here. That's 20 swirls. Is that going to be enough suds? Let's do 10 more just in case. So 30 swirls, and there's not too much in there. The water in there is kind of sudsy looking. It'll be interesting to see. I'm kind of doubting whether it's going to make my lather, but that's what I did last 2 days, and I ended up with way too much lather. So let's just see if this comes together. So a good bit of water in my bowl here. The method that I've coined, the slurry lather, is going to hopefully put a nice slurry of lather on my face. Slurry meaning highly wet, not a fully mixed mature lather, but kind of where soap is floating around amidst the water. And my guess is that this particular formulation really likes this method. Maybe because maybe those soap molecules can just jump onto the skin and sit there instead of having to be a part of the lather and divide themselves amongst the different layers of the lather that don't actually touch the skin. You can see it's very light, but it's also very slick. This method does not have, oh yeah, see that's slicker than anything I've used recently because I've been doing bowl lathers the first few days. Certain formulations of soap benefit from this method in a very significant way, and this is one of them. Lightly tuggy. Light touch. When I'm vertical here, I'm just letting the weight of the razor do the job. Of course, you can't do that when you're on the underside of your neck. I always chuckle when somebody advises somebody else to let the weight of the razor do the work, because you just can't when it's upside down. And now, quick little water splash. And then, second pass. Still got plenty of water kind of sitting around in this bowl. I'm holding the bowl underneath my face just to kind of prevent my bathroom counter from getting too messy. The first couple of passes I do use very light pressure so that it doesn't immediately dump out all the water. And there we go. We're in good shape now. And we don't have to do it for very long. Again, on the second pass, usually not a mature lather yet. Going to go cross grain this time. This can be a pretty messy method, but with normal face lathering that's done by most of the guys these days, and with the bowl lathering, you are working that lather up into a maturity before you actually start shaving. And with this method, you don't do that, and so it can be a lot faster. Splash of water. That's 2 passes down. And I can definitely feel that slickness just still on my face, resident in a nice slick layer. looks like 30 swirls is either exactly right or maybe even too much. We'll have to see. And if you remember last year about this time, this very same tub taught me how much you can reduce your load time if you keep using the same soap over and over, and if that brush that you take to the tub is really wet, it keeps communicating and imparting water into the soap, and so each day you're meeting up with a wetter and wetter soap. And it got to where half a swirl was plenty of lather. I was using a boar brush, you know, which sometimes can pick up more soap than, you know, some badgers, but I think it illustrated a very neat point. Using a little slant stroke to try to help with the cutting action on this old blade. I think if I were to do against the grain, I am sure that I would have dropped out with this blade a while back. I'm sure that it would be just way too tuggy. But I don't, even with a fresh blade, I don't do that. So it's, I think it's still a fair comparison. Nice and slick. Even though you can't see too much, there's this wonderful little microscopic slick layer of that soap and that slurry and high amount of hydration that's treating my face really well. Another splash of water. And that kind of woke up that slickness that was on my face. As you shave it away, you take away a lot of the water, and so it can kind of dry on your face a little bit. So fourth pass, and look, we're only at about 12 minutes, and so 4 or 5 passes is not really unreasonable, especially when you use this kind of method. It just doesn't take very much time. And you can see that our lather starts changing. We're getting, it's not completely, it's not creamy at all, but it's very hydrated and slick. Feels great on the brush. I think my face is done now. Focus on my neck, and this is the 5th pass, so maybe I can get my neck to be done with this pass as well. On purpose, lifting my chin up and away when I'm working on this side, kind of vice versa for the other side to tighten the skin. That's very important for a nice, efficient, and close and nick-free shave. Choosing my angles very carefully. I know my kind of the mapping of my skin. My hair comes down. Over here it then moves across my face, and then the exit point is kind of right here. Down here it moves, after it crosses my jawline, it moves forward a little before it heads out that exit point. Over here it moves forward as well, which is why this stroke here is kind of looks out of place, but very applicable, very helpful. Okay, yeah, plenty of lather. I can just reach down and grab some from the brush if I just kind of want to do a little touch up. And there we go. 15 minutes. Not bad at all. And this is with an old blade where I had to do multiple passes. I would have been done in 5 minutes ago with a younger blade, like most of you use. But I'm just, I do continue on with this because I'm just scientifically curious. And I think we can learn, potentially, there's some good stuff to learn about the blade. You know, if it, whether it dies as a result of feeling too rough, or whether I have to stop because it feels fine. It's not really tugging hairs, but it is no longer cutting well. You know, and so I think that'll be a good question to answer. And now a good rinse. The Chiseled Face Midnight Stag Splash, or aftershave lotion, depends on your terminology. It's not really a lotion, so I think many of us in the wet shaving community choose to call them splashes. This does have menthol. It also has some other positive ingredients for your skin as well. It's not just alcohol and fragrance and menthol. And while that sits around me and works into my face, I will clean up my gear. And there we go. Brush is all cleaned up. With animal hair bristles, always remember to rinse them really, really well so you get all that soap out from them, even the center of the knot, applicable very much when you're using a high density knot like this kind. Got to get in there because that soap will chemically react with the hairs and weaken them, causing breakage in the future if you don't make that stop, if you don't give it a good clean. Loosen up the razor head, run some water through it. Use the same thing tomorrow, so I'll just leave the blade in the razor. Now I can feel free to jump into the cologne. As always, if you like a soap scent from the just the soap tub or the splash, if it's really a favorite, you might want to think about getting the cologne. I've said it a few times, but you will notice some different things in the cologne. And something really awesome jumps out from the Midnight Stag in the cologne form that is absent in the other forms. So, terrific. That's it for today. Fast, speedy shave and nice closeness. Let me pause you and check it out. Yep, that'll do. That will look presentable in most or your average job situation, and that's what I'm looking for. So we just soldier on. 548 uses today, so 549 tomorrow. We'll hit that magical 550, and Lord willing, we can maybe get to 600 by the end of the year, maybe. All right, that's it for me. Sugar Daddy Shaves. Have a good night. Take care. See you tomorrow.